How will big companies like Peloton affect your fitness business? We're talking about that right now. Hey, I'm Daniel, and welcome to Uscreen Health and Fitness, the best place for personal trainers, yoga instructors, brick and mortar studio owners, and fitness influencers to learn how to grow their business online. If you've been paying attention recently, you might know that Peloton hasn't been sitting back on their heels and enjoying their cult following and success. In fact, in the second quarter of 2020, they saw a 172% surge in sales when compared to the same quarter from the previous year. And they had over 1 million people subscribing to their streaming classes. Not to mention their valuation as a company has exploded to over $31 billion in just the last year. I don't even compete with them, and I'm intimidated. Not to mention that in the last year, the pandemic has pushed a lot of businesses out of the market, and monsters like Peloton are lying in wait, ready to pounce and fill those gaps. They smelled the blood in the water and they moved accordingly. Online fitness is here to stay, and massive companies like Peloton and Apple have seen big wins in the last couple of years because they seized the moment. You should have the same attitude and approach when it comes to your online fitness business. While I may not work for Peloton, we can still look at their recent business moves and make some educated guesses as to what they're up to and what we can expect from them in the future. This is important because the movements of the biggest players often can tell us a lot about the market and the trends coming our way that mere mortals like you and me might not be aware of yet. But you can use this information to tweak your offer and leverage the knowledge and experiences of these bigger players to future-proof your business. In that vein, Peloton recently launched a partnership with Adidas on a performance line of apparel and on-demand fitness classes for their bike and the Peloton app. Then in 2020 alone, they acquired 4 companies for a total of $498 million.
Wow.
They acquired AIQdo, an AI-powered voice assistant technology, Atlas Wearables, which is a smartwatch maker that provides workout instruction and tracks fitness levels, and Otari, a maker of interactive workout mats. While those are all interesting acquisitions, their biggest one came when they agreed to buy Precor, a large fitness equipment manufacturer, for $420 million. All of these acquisitions are important signals for where Peloton might go in the future, but the Precor agreement is particularly interesting. It indicated that Peloton is planning to scale their commercial offerings. And in fact, Peloton's official press release mentions that they're planning to establish a US manufacturing footprint, invest more in research and development, and that Precor has a long-standing relationship with hotels, multifamily residences, and college and corporate campuses, which are prime prospects for Peloton equipment. Buying a company like Precor is a massive investment and signals Peloton's commercial hopes and dreams. They'll surely continue to focus on their bikes and treadmills, as even their own CEO was quoted as saying that every year in the US there's been 5 million treadmills sold. So it's not like working out at home was a COVID thing. It's always been a thing. It's just that the products have been dopey and not connected. The real competition for you in your online fitness business isn't necessarily the Peloton equipment, but the subscription classes and the community provided by Peloton. They do an excellent job in that realm. And you're just one person. How can you possibly hope to compete? Well, we'll get to that in just a minute, so be sure to stick around. Companies like Peloton and Apple being in the fitness space is actually a good thing. They're the innovators and the trendsetters. Whether they mean to or not, they're actually paving the way for creators like you to make a living doing what you love. For most of you, you have a different focus and target audience than Peloton. Not to mention that just because someone has a Peloton bike doesn't mean that they can't have multiple fitness subscriptions. A customer could have a Peloton bike and membership for their cycling classes, and a subscription to your yoga service for their flexibility and mindfulness needs. They're not necessarily mutually exclusive. Online fitness is a fast-growing industry, and titans like this getting into the space is a good thing. It brings stability to an industry that previously may have been a little bit more unpredictable or relied heavily on a traditional brick and mortar approach. The even better news, these giants getting into the space are actually creating their own barriers to entry for their own services because they have hardware requirements. Peloton bikes, even on the cheap end, still cost over $1,800. Even with financing options, that's no small investment, and then the users have to pay a subscription on top of that to even be able to access the classes to use the bike. For most, not all, but most people, that's cost prohibitive. And even for others, it's just not the right fit. Peloton's branding and messaging won't resonate with everyone. And while Peloton has a good business, they only have 1.67 million connected fitness subscribers. That's great for them, but it's better for you because it means there are still millions and millions of people out there looking for services that best suit their needs. That means there's even more potential for your online fitness business because you can acquire customers not just across the US, but the entire world. You don't win by worrying about other businesses. Watch them, learn from them, but don't live in fear of their moves. You win by focusing on the audience you're best suited to serve and providing them with the best content possible. You win by having an online component of your fitness business that allows you to serve a global audience with your targeted niche content. If you don't have that yet, then you need to watch the video over there right now. If you found this video encouraging, then go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you out there.